Hey, what is going on? It is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor, where today's topic, every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we're here to help you understand the technical side of the real estate industry. But what we're talking about today is the question of being ready. Specifically, are you ready? Are you ready to take your exam? Are you ready to work with your first client? Are you ready to join a brokerage? Are you ready to start advertising your business? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you ready to become a broker? Are you ready to even start a real estate career? What are the parameters of being ready? And so this is what we're going to be touching on today. It's a higher level concept that can apply to so many aspects of your life. And where we find ourselves being the most indecisive usually is when we don't feel as if we're ready for whatever it is that we're about to do. So how is it that we get to being ready? How is it that we get that feeling of feeling like it's ready? What does that even feel like if you're not even quite sure what it feels like to be ready? You know, maybe you're studying for your exam and you're not sure if you're ready to take the state exam yet. So how do you figure out whether or not you're ready and how soon it'll be until you're ready and how you do get ready? Well, first we've got to define ready. We've got to make sense of what that term ready actually means. So today's question, are you ready? Let's find out.
You are watching Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Chrismo, and the show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that little bell icon so you get notifications whenever it is that we have new content to help you grow your real estate business. And what we're talking about today is the idea of being ready. What does it take to be ready? What is it that makes you ready? Well, if we're going to talk about this term ready, we've got to define it, because that could be used in so many different contexts. And so what you've got to do is take it of what you're preparing for. So for example, let's say you're studying for your real estate exam. You know, that's our expertise here at Tampa School of Real Estate, is helping people pass their real estate exam, something people know us quite well for. We're pretty proud of that. But how do we do that? We make people ready. We get people to be ready. Now, what is ready? Well, ready is in a state where you're able to pass the exam. And maybe if you haven't taken the exam yet, passing it on your first try. That's what we determine to be ready. If the context is passing your exam, it's being able to pass the exam. That's the definition of being ready. But now, how do we translate that from what we're doing to studying to knowing we'll be able to pass the exam? And so, if you've seen our Pass First Try strategy, you might know the 4 steps that we recommend. Number 1, learn the information. Number 2, review along the way. Number 3, test your knowledge. And number 4, be confident and prepared. Notice how those steps lead up to that last step, being confident and prepared. If you're confident and prepared, if you feel confident and prepared, you're going to be ready for this exam. But how do you know that you're ready? How do you actually gain that confidence and gain that preparation? We'll take a step back to testing your knowledge. That's step 3 in the Pass First Try strategy. Before you will be confident and prepared, you must test your knowledge. The exam is going to test your knowledge. And you could wait until you take the exam to find out if you were ready, or you could test yourself ahead of time. So this is a perfect example of how we could extrapolate this later into real world, real life types of scenarios, but the same idea of being ready. How we help our students be prepared for the real estate exam is we actually have them simulate the real estate exam. That's step 3, test your knowledge. See if you know. Actually go through the process, test it to see if it works. Think of, the vaccine. I don't know if our video is going to get banned for mentioning that word, but think of these vaccines and all the tests and trials that had to be done. Even though they expedited all that, still all the testing and trialing that had to be done before they go put that out on the general public. And that's the same idea. You want to test. You want to conduct experiments to see if you're ready. And when you're the context of preparing for your exam and studying for your exam, if you're taking those practice exams and you're scoring very highly on them, that's going to help you feel confident and prepared. But what if you're not scoring so highly on those? Well, that's usually a good indication that you're probably not going to score so highly on the actual exam. So rather than going into that actual exam thinking you might pass and not, if you haven't been doing well in the practice exams, you're going to go into that exam knowing that you're not ready. So that's what the simulation is really meant to do. It's meant to really kind of see, does this work? Think of astronauts before they send them off to space. They got them like swimming around in pools and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, spinning them around and doing all these things to simulate what they're going to experience when they go to space. Now, taking your real estate exam isn't quite as advanced as going to space, but you still want to simulate, you still want to practice, you still want to test yourself. But it isn't just that, so I'm probably in no condition to be an astronaut. And if you go stick me in one of those spinny chairs like they got at the fair or the whatever that they're doing to train astronauts, that's probably not going to make me prepared. That's just going to show whether or not I'm prepared. And probably I'd get off that thing and throw up, pass out, all kinds of bad things would happen to me because I'm not prepared. So that's not the way you get yourself ready. That's the way you test if you're ready. So how do you get yourself ready? Well, rewinding back in our pass first try strategy, again, when we're talking about studying for your exam, that's where learning the information and reinforcing the key points. Reinforcing those key points along the way as you learn the information. So you're focused on studying the key points. You test your knowledge, and if you're able to apply those key points in the context of the exam questions, you're going to be in good shape. And then you just want to make sure that you know that you're confident and prepared. But that's really the idea of being ready in the context of studying for your real estate exam. But now let's say you've already passed your real estate exam, you've already got your real estate license, and you just joined a real estate brokerage, you're maybe doing some initial training, and you have potential leads in front of you. And you might be wondering, am I ready for this business? Do I know what I need to know to be confident and prepared to serve this client? How are you ready now in that same context? Well, spoiler alert, it's going to be the same idea of you getting yourself ready to take the exam is the same concept of you being ready to serve a client. It's going to look different, but it's the same idea that we're going to be walking through. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but first we're going to take a quick commercial break, so stick with us. I'm John Christopher. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're going to love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor, where today's topic is, are you ready? Now, what do we need to be ready for? Ready for anything. But that's a cliche, neat thing to say, but just saying that you're ready for anything doesn't really make you ready for anything. You actually have to do the work to be ready, to be prepared, to be confident. Just like we talked about before the break about studying for your real estate exam. Again, that's what our Pass First Try strategy is designed to do. It's a recommended strategy to help you be ready to pass these exams on your first try. And again, one of the key components is that simulation, that test before you actually take the real test. But prior to that simulation, there's all the things that you're learning and studying before that. So let's say you passed your exam, you got your real estate license, and now you're joining a brokerage and you're not quite sure if you're ready to help people yet. Now, what makes you ready? Now, for those of you that are already taking the pre-licensing course, you probably know what I'm talking about of feeling like, I'm not sure if I'm really ready to help people yet. Now, why? Why would you feel that way? Now, for those of you that haven't taken the pre-licensing course, you might wonder that, but for those of you that have taken the pre-licensing course, you know why. Because the pre-licensing course focuses on laws and rules that are important for your real estate exam, as well as important to ensure that you're practicing real estate legally and you don't lose your real estate license. But you don't have to worry about losing your real estate license until you actually have a real estate license. So the pre-licensing course, again, the primary objective is to get you passing the exams, to get you licensed. And the Florida Real Estate Commission, who dictates the syllabus for this course, tells us what information it is that we have to teach. And the reason why is they want us to teach information that's relevant to laws that get broken on a regular basis, as well as things they don't want to get broken on a regular basis. But that's your pre-licensing course. So that information isn't going to necessarily make you prepared to run a top producing real estate business. It's designed to make you prepared for the exam, as well as prepared for the legal aspect of having a real estate license, preparing you for what you can and cannot do with that real estate license. That is the primary concern of the Florida Real Estate Commission. The Florida Real Estate Commission does not care whether you make any money with your real estate license. What they do care about is protecting the public from harm from negligent or nefarious real estate agents. That's what they're mainly concerned with. So the pre-licensing course, again, is mainly focused on the laws and rules that they don't want you to break. You do learn the gist of a lot of the basic principles of real estate as well. So if you've never done anything real estate related before, there's going to be a ton of stuff that you're going to be learning through that, but it's not necessarily information of, say, how to sell a house. I mean, we cover the contracts and the mortgages and the title transfer. A lot more of the book stuff, for lack of a better term, the wordier, more detailed, the stuff that's not quite as exciting, the stuff that is information that's not going to necessarily help you make money, but again, keep your real estate license and be able to practice legally. That's your pre-licensing course. So if you feel like you're not ready to actually practice real estate once you've got your real estate license, that's to be expected. Now, passing your real estate exam, getting your real estate license, that's a major milestone. And it's a tough exam. That's why the pass rate is what it is. It's like a 50% pass rate month after month for the state exam, because it's a tough exam. And even as more people pass it, they increase the difficulty because they like to maintain that 50% pass rate. So once you knock that out, now it's a whole entire different set of parameters. Again, we have to redefine what it means to be ready for every situation. The initial readiness you need to have is ready to pass your exam. But once you pass your exam, the game changes. Now you need to be ready to serve your clients. And it's a very similar process to our pass first try strategy. First, you've got to learn the information. And you might say, well, John, I already learned everything in my pre-licensing. No, you did not learn everything. You learned a bunch of laws and rules that are going to make sure that you practice real estate legally. But when it comes down to actually making money, you might have some ideas. But the post-licensing course, this is the course that's required for your first renewal, that's what's going to really teach you a lot more of the fundamentals of actually practicing real estate. More so from the context of, what do I do with my real estate license to actually make money with it? That's what your post-licensing course is designed to teach. You know, if you guys have heard my story of when I got started in real estate, years back when I first got my real estate license, I went into this not knowing what post-licensing was, not wanting to take post-licensing because I thought it was just going to be like pre-licensing and studying for the state exam all over again. And I thought that was a big waste of my time. In hindsight, I get it, why you want me to practice real estate legally. I understand the importance of that. But in the moment, I was like, why do I have to learn this? Why is this important? Why do I need to know this? I'm never going to use this. All those things you probably find yourself saying. That was me too, way back when I got my real estate license. And so I was sick of that. I was over that, and I didn't take post-licensing right away. No one really told me to take it right away. I learned about the deadline in the course, and so I just waited to right before my deadline, like most other real estate agents do, and then finally took that course. And it was a rush job to get it done before the renewal deadline because I was going to lose my license if I didn't get it done. And if you think about it, 2 years into your real estate business, are you going to be busier 2 years in, or are you going to be busy when you first get your real estate license? You're going to be busier usually, hopefully 2 years into your business. And what happened with me is I struggled to figure out real estate. I didn't know what I was doing. I was not confident. I was not prepared. It's funny, I joke about it, but when I first showed my first home, I was afraid to show the home. I was terrified. I was anxious. I was nervous. I wasn't ready. And the reason why I wasn't ready is because I knew the next step was, okay, if they like it, they'll want to make an offer. And I had no idea how to make an offer on the property. Not even the basics, not even the gist of it. And the brokerage it was that I originally joined, it wasn't the best situation for new agents. They didn't have the best format and training program in place to help new agents figure out what's important and what they need to do. So there's a lot of me on my own trying to figure this stuff out. But that resulted in my fake confidence that I had to make up for all the confidence I didn't have only went so far. And it really held me back from really achieving success because you might have heard me say this before, selling real estate really isn't that difficult. People like to complain about it and talk about it being difficult, but you could do that about anything. In the grand scheme of things, for the amount of money it is that you make, for what it is that you do, this is really easy money. When you know what to do, when you have, again, a rhythm going and a routine going and you're doing this correctly, there's a lot of ways to do this wrong. And so getting back to making sure that you're confident and prepared and that you're ready for actually working with clients and selling real estate, joining a brokerage, all that, post-licensing. Now, are you going to learn everything? Absolutely not, but you're going to learn just enough of everything to get you going, to get you feeling confident, to get you understanding the process. You know, briefly in your pre-licensing course, you might get an idea of kind of the offer and negotiation process. We cover that a little bit in the contract chapter, but again, to the certain extent of the legal implications. Whereas when you want to be able to present a bid that actually wins, that's very important in today's market, to be able to present a bid that has the chance of winning. Well, how do you do that? Well, that's something you're learning about in our post-licensing course. And we have this course available right via live stream, so you don't even have to be in the Tampa Bay area. We can actually live stream into your computer. We've got a live instructor. We bring the classroom to you. And again, this will knock out your renewal requirement as well, but this is going to help make you confident and prepared for actually practicing real estate. Is it going to teach you everything? No. Real estate is a lifelong learning process. I'm still learning things every single day about real estate, and so will you, because it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing, and there's more and more ways to make yourself better, to optimize, to be more efficient, to make yourself stand out. So many ways you have to improve your real estate business. So if you are a lifelong learner type of person, real estate is a great industry because there's always new things you could do, new things you could learn to help make yourself more profitable, to do more deals, to stand out amongst your competition. So there's so much of that. But it all starts with post-licensing because, again, that's going to be the most fundamental course. If you go take a bunch of other trainings and then take post-licensing, you're going to feel like you already learned some of this stuff, but maybe there's still some takeaways here and there. Whereas when you do your post-licensing course first, you're going to be learning all of these fundamentals, which you'll then, when you take your more advanced trainings from your broker, from the Association of Realtors, or however it is, whatever other trainings it is you're doing afterwards, because again, this is a lifelong process, everything's going to make so much more sense because you have learned those fundamentals, those basic principles of how real estate is done and how it's practiced. So you will be more confident of what it is that you actually need to do with your real estate license to actually sell real estate, to actually make money with your real estate license. Look, the end goal probably for you isn't just getting a real estate license. You probably want to do something with that, whether it's make money, whether it's have more time, have more freedom, whatever the case may be. Getting the license is the first step, but now we need to make something with that real estate license. And again, post-licensing is that first step to help you more confident and prepared. Because again, when we define ready, if we think of, again, going back to that story of me being terrified of showing homes because I'm like, what if they want to make an offer? Well, it turns out submitting an offer on a property isn't really that difficult to do. It's actually pretty easy. We actually just fill in the blanks in the contract. And had I known that, had I understood maybe some of the ideas behind how to make an offer stronger, just these little basic ideas that will make you so much more confident and make you feel so much more like you actually know what you're doing, rather than you just know that contracts have to be in writing and signed, and those little tidbits that you remember in the 43,560 square feet in an acre, and all these random things that you're like, why do I need to learn this? Why do I need to learn that? Who knows? Maybe you'll use it someday, maybe not, whatever. You have to learn it to pass your exam anyways, but post-licensing, that's not the case. There's no state exam. There is an end-of-course exam, but it's testing you on that material that is, again, like I said, much more interesting and much more engaging because it's actually actually about making money with your real estate license. Business planning, presenting offers, pricing properties to sell. In pre-licensing, we cover the basics of appraisal and coming up with a value, but what's really important in the real world isn't just that you could figure out the value, but that you could price your property to sell. You know, maybe you're ready to start advertising and farming a neighborhood. We cover farming in our post-licensing course. So there's a lot of topics, again, that teach you a variety of different things so you know actually how to prospect, how to lead generate, how to submit offers, all these things you need to know to run a successful real estate business. And when you know these things, again, there's still going to be more things to know, but you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel more prepared, and you're going to feel ready to actually use your real estate license. And again, I'm on like a soapbox about this just because this is such an important integral piece to you being able to launch a successful real estate career, because number one, it's required. You got to do it anyways, and the sooner you do it, the sooner you'll better understand how to practice real estate and what you actually do with your real estate license, and everything is going to make much more sense. The deals and opportunities that are before you, you'll be able to notice more because you'll be able to recognize them, because you'll understand what your role in this process can be. So that's post-licensing, and like I said, it's something you have to do if you want to keep your license more than 2 years. So get it done. You can do it as soon as you've got your real estate license. We have online courses as well as live stream and in-person classes. You can call us up, 813-333-2676 if you want to see the current schedule, or you can check out more info at postflorida.com. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we've got a little bit more details on being ready, wrapping this all up, bringing it together so that way you can apply the same concept, not just to getting your license, not just getting your first deal, but whatever it is that you're trying to be ready for. So stick with us. I'm John Christopher. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline, I don't need to do post-licensing yet, but look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. This week's topic, are you ready? For what? That's the question. What are you being ready for? Before you could say whether or not you're ready, you have to know, number one, what do you need to be ready for? What is it that you're ready for? Specifically. So think, and again, this is where you got to get into the specifics, especially when you're new to real estate. There's going to be a lot of firsts. The first time you show a home, the first time you do a listing appointment, the first time you do an open house, the first time you call a client, the first time you import a lead into your CRM, the first time you get a new lead off of your website, the first time you get an internet lead and you got to call them right away, whatever it is. There's all kinds of definitions of ready. And what you need to understand is sometimes you just need to be one step ahead. If you could maintain that one step ahead mentality, you'll always be ready. As long as no one just starts jumping steps, but that's usually, in most cases, not able to do. See, with me showing a home, if they don't want to make an offer on it, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to know anything about the next step other than maybe how do I show them another home. But when they do want to make an offer on it, I just need to know what that next step is of making an offer. Now, when we get to the point of making an offer, I want to make sure I know whatever that next step is. Now, ideally, you want to have an idea of this whole process start to finish, but as you're doing these little bits and pieces here and there for the first time, you might already understand the process start to finish. Okay, we need to have appointments, then we submit offers, then eventually, after some back and forth, hopefully we'll have a contract if we win, and then we have our inspections, then we have the appraisals, and then we have the closing. Something like that. And maybe a few more details here and there depending on the transaction, but you might understand the overall flow of the transaction. But now when we get a step deeper, when you're actually showing a home, and they're actually submitting an offer, now we're taking a step deeper into this here. And so again, that's where you can take all these times, the first time you're doing something. Now, if you've already done it before, you're going to feel ready because you've already done it. And that's the magic of real estate. All this stuff is so intimidating and so scary at first, but then when you actually do it, you actually go to submit an offer and you realize you're just filling in a couple of blanks for them and you're just knowing what blanks mean what, and there's only a handful of them on there, and there's only a handful of different scenarios that could come out of that. So knowing these basics, knowing these fundamentals is just like the pass first try strategy. So number one, you're learning the information. You're going to learn this information more in depth, but then when it comes time to review this, you're focusing just on the key points. And that's what you need to focus on when, again, it comes to, say, writing an offer. You don't necessarily need to know the whole contract inside and out, backwards and forwards, and know what every single word means, because again, normally we're just filling in the blanks in a couple key areas and understanding what the implications are of us changing the inspection time frame or including an appraisal contingency or whatever other contingencies it is that we may put in there. Or maybe when you're submitting an offer, the little odds and ends like a homeowners association disclosure, lead-based paint disclosure, things like that. And the other thing, in real estate, there's a lot that can be fixed relatively easily. Now you still want to be ready. Now how again are you ready? You define ready. You figure out what does it mean to be ready. Okay, ready to show a home? All right, so one of two options are going to occur after me showing this home. They're either going to want to make an offer or they're not. One of the two. Maybe they want some more information, maybe some other random little thing, but they're either going to want to make an offer or maybe they're not. Now, do we want to just hope that they don't make an offer, or do we want to know the gist of making an offer? Now, how do we know if we're ready to make an offer? Simulate. Practice. Practice making an offer. You get with your broker, your mentor, another agent in your office even that's just a little bit more experienced with you. And go fill out an offer and say, hey, if I wanted to make an offer on a property like this here, how does this look? Am I doing this right? You're going to have training, most likely. You're going to learn a little bit about the post licensing. I'm sure your broker or maybe the Association of Realtors will have some sort of training that'll go more in depth about this. But even if you do those trainings, it's still now applying what you know to this real world scenario here. Just like you study for the exam, you have to know these key points and then be able to apply them in an exam question. In this case here, you have to know what are the important parts of the contract and how they apply to this transaction. So very similar type of concept here, but again, the key thing to make sure you're feeling ready. I didn't do that before. I went into the showing hoping, I hope they don't want to make an offer because I have no idea how to do that and I'll have to go figure that out. Maybe I'll go ask my broker, but I don't know if he even likes me because he doesn't really even talk to me. Maybe he's just busy, maybe not. Maybe he'll be frustrated with me asking him how to make an offer. And you see all this like spinning out of control in your head when overall this really isn't that difficult of a process here. You learn some of the basics in your post-licensing, but then again, when it comes time for the real world, simulate it. Just like the pass first try strategy, doing the questions similar, doing practice exams before you take the real exam, before you submit a real offer, simulate an offer, simulate submitting an offer, simulate using whatever technology or tools your brokerage has. Create a test file, a test document, a test contact. That's the key. That's how you make sure that you're ready. You practice as if it were the real thing. You role play the situation. You do that, and you're going to realize what your mistakes, what your flaws are. Maybe the first time you're going on a listing presentation, what do? After you get yourself all prepared, you rehearse that with somebody before you go. And that's going to help you figure out what things you need to fix, what things you need to tidy up. And again, that will help make you ready. So a big part of this being ready thing is the practice, is the simulation of going through this in a mock environment. But before you do that, again, yes, of course, the training, learning the information, understanding what those key points are, focusing on those, remembering those, and then again, applying that in a scenario. And that's really how we came up with our pass first try strategy. Again, we wanted to make people ready to pass their exams in the first try, and we built it out to this. But over the years, we've realized these same concepts apply to really learning and being able to perform with anything. Learn the info, reinforce the things that are most important, test yourself, and be confident and prepared. You do those 4 things, you'll be feeling ready. So look, that's about all the time it is that we've got for today. Thank you guys for joining us on this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. We're here every Wednesday, so if you like today's show, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and we'll do more videos on this topic. That's how we gauge interest in what we're talking about, because at the end of the day, we want to provide information that's relevant and useful to our students, as well as our future potential students. Look, even if you're not a Tampa School alumni yet, even if you already got your real estate license somewhere else, that's okay. You can still come to us for post-licensing, to get your broker licensing, to do your continuing education. We'll adopt you. If you feel like you're an orphan after your experience going through the real estate licensing process, come into Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here to help make our students successful. That's how we started from the get-go. Back when we were originally founded in 2007, we set out on a mission to be better. And that's what really has grown us to the level it is that we are today. And that's the same way we teach our students to run their real estate business, is to be better, to offer a better alternative than the competition, to provide a better service. And you do that, the rest will take care of itself. So we're here every Wednesday as well as Fridays for State of Real Estate to help you better understand how to make money with your real estate license, how to build a successful real estate career of whatever level of success it is for you, whether you want to start in real estate part-time and just do it on the side because you love what you do, or maybe you hate what you do and you want to replace real estate with that. Either way, part-time, full-time, there's opportunities that exist in real estate to meet whatever it is that your goals and dreams are. It's a very flexible with numerous opportunities. Not only the fact that everyone needs a place to live, but some people have office buildings, some people have investment property, some people buy and sell businesses, and we could broker those deals as well. So there's a lot of opportunities that exist for your real estate license, but only if you have it. So if you're ready to start your real estate career, or maybe you need to take post-licensing, you're ready to get your broker license, call us 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. You can also check us out online at tampaschool.com. Again, that's tampaschool.com. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because we'll be back on Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, to help you mastermind and grow your real estate business. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on noon on Friday. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success. Or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.